Princess from the Moon, inspired by visiting Samurai Beyond the Sword exhibition. Among many samurai armors and swords, you will see rare and beautiful artifacts. I like the beautiful picture book about the Princess from the Moon.
What up, y'all? It's your boy R to the A to the S. Yes, Roz here with Pacific Coast Blog. They here to do a review of Propaganda's Crimson Cord. Talking about stuff I like, stuff I didn't like, etc., etc., etc. Alright? As my man JJ say. Basically with your man Propaganda, times he comes off as a poet who raps. What I mean by that is a lot of times doesn't follow the whole conventional rhyming patterns and things of that sort. It just comes off like a poet, like he's just writing poetry. So that's not a criticism. That's just who he is. And so at times it just comes off as a poet who's a poet who raps. If you was to put him in a box. But yeah, let me get to the stuff I like. This part of the stuff I love the most. Crimson Cord, title track. I love his aggressiveness, hardcore delivery. Spitting hard on here. Like the keyboard. The guitar, just the whole rock feel and vibe. That's what I like about sonically the most about this project. Is definitely has a rock vibe to it, and I love that. And it's just basically on the song reality rap, ugly side of life, but also brings a message of redemption. I like how, and I hope I'm not reading too deeply into it. It has the two stories. A guy and a girl, different backgrounds, economic backgrounds, but still facing some of the similar problems. I like how he talks about with the father on here, the two fathers, even though they're different with their relationship, there's sort of like this separation. So with the son, he's talking to his father who's in prison, and of course he's talking through this glass thing. You know, you're in prison, you can't talk directly to the person, talk through glass. And then you have the girl on here, she's talking to her father through FaceTime, which technically is not the same thing, but it's very similar. You're talking to this person through glass. They're not there. They're there, but they're not there. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of similar. Might be looking too deep into it, but I thought that was interesting. Make, another song I like on here. Probably my favorite beat on here. Just the rock, the electric guitar on here. Just brings that darkness, that energy, that hardcoreness, and I just love how the drums switch up on here. Board of Education. I don't think this spoken word piece is that controversial. I think there are a lot of people who feel this way that he does on here. Even, for example,
it should be welcoming. It should be something where they're trying to, you know, a good teacher gets your kid excited about reasoning and algebra and this kind of stuff. They get them excited and they pull them in. But the way these tests are written, which rule the whole education system now, because every year they're pounded with preparation for these tests. So there's not even time to think about anything else. And these questions and the way that they're written repel kids from that kind of reasoning. It does the opposite of what it's meant to do.
So yeah, to me, not that controversial, but I like it. Best spoken word on here. And, you know, the educational system, man, even with teachers, you talk to them off the record. I worked in the public school system. They're going to do what they got to do. to keep their jobs. You know what I'm saying? So some of them do some unethical stuff. I mean, definitely what he's talking about here is true, but even from the teacher's perspective, they're going to do what they got to do to keep their jobs. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. French stretch marks, not really sure. I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about on here. At first I thought, well, maybe he's talking about his wife. Then I said, maybe not. Maybe it's just a fictional person. Not really sure. But I love this sonically. I like braille, wordplay, alliteration on here. It's just a nice vibe to the song. I like this song. 3-chord bond. Now this to me is the most controversial song on here. Addressing some topics of race, such as black people feeling that at times white people are stealing our culture, our identity and just basically using it for their enjoyment. But Prop gives the solution in that. It's not like the whole controversy last year before last, with the whole with Precious Puritan, where some people felt like the solution wasn't as obvious, and this one is pretty obvious. It sounds like the second verse he's talking about black people jealous of Latino people. Not positive, but that's what it sort of sounds like. Sometimes it seems like it's jumping topics, not as clear. Then the third one sounds like the verse is just dealing with white people and their struggles, people minimalizing their struggles. Not all white people were quote unquote white people, 100 years ago. They dealt with poverty as well in their different ways, and so I guess it's just really just dealing with the human experiences and commonalities, differences, things of that sort. So I like this song. How did we get here? This is probably the song that's most different on here that I like. Pandy Mineo did not sound like Pandy Mineo. I would have never guessed that was Pandy Mineo. But it's a catchy hook. I like the West Coast bounce feel on here. Jay Givens, I'm not sold yet. I think he can rap fast, but I need to hear that aggressiveness from him for me to become a fan. But I like him on here. I'm just not a fan yet. Redeem. To me, this one I talked about, he's more of a spoken word artist, as a poet. This is a perfect prime example. Nothing on this song, from his perspective, seemed like a rap to me. It just seemed like he's just doing spoken word over a beat. But I like it. I like Lee Green on here as well. I like the whole vibe. Just a dope beat. Just a nice rock vibe to it. Stuff I didn't necessarily, I would say stuff I didn't like, or just stuff I wasn't really in love with on here. Mock, I like it, but to be honest, once I figured out what he's talking about, it's not something I really want to go back to. Daywalkers, I like it. I don't love it. I like Lecrae verse. I like Prop verse. I like the whole Outkast vibe to it. But it's not something that, like, my top 3 songs on here. Just not. Thanks, Rev. Come on, man. I've heard these type of skits before. I guess this is a continuation of the whole Professor thing he did last time. I could just watch the Tyler Perry movie or any black show and get this type of humor. Just nothing unique about this skit. Ain't gave up yet. To me, the beat doesn't really stand out that much. You can definitely tell a Humble Beats person did this, but it's not something that just really stands out to me. And I don't see it. Nothing wrong with it lyrically, but production wise, I can hear this anywhere. The 808s and all that type of stuff, man. I'm assuming that that's what the intention was, to give some type of typical beat, because the typical stuff that he talks about on here that people do is typical as well, maybe. But otherwise, that song didn't stand out. Overall, though, I like this album. I like his rap, spoken word. I like the rock vibe and when he's aggressive the most. And definitely, his topics, especially when he talks about race or just brokenness. I enjoy it. So definitely either buy it or you can download it for free on Noise Trade. This Receiver Cost blog. Kobe sucks. Yeah, I know it's an LA guy, but hey, Kobe sucks. And I'm out. Trip Hours.